morning, American. It's Friday.
It's time for Morning Today with Jonathan Mark on AM 1480 WLEA.
I'll tell you, Jim, the fog was as thick as pea soup. You couldn't see nary a thing.
Actually, it is kind of foggy out there. Man, I don't know how it is in the valley, but right now it is very, very foggy up here. And, you know, I've wondered this often in my life.
What actor was that?
Who? What? I don't know.
That's from an old movie, I know.
There's somebody or other. Yeah, okay. Now my train of thought is totally gone. Okay, I often wonder, and this is true, I have spent hours thinking about this. If you could have fog as thick as pea soup, logically, can you have pea soup as thick as fog? It's just one of the things that's kind of, you know, I could spend hours thinking about that.
You came in and it was like that. It's still, I'm looking out the window, it's
I
still
can see.
that bad.
Wow, yeah, it really is foggy. So, in here, the fog is even thicker, I'll tell you right now, especially this morning. Well, it is finally Friday. Yay. Yes, finally Friday. A really unusual week because we started out with Labor Day, right? That was Monday. And then school started this week. And here it is Friday already. So it's finally Friday. Yes, sir. A really interesting week. Well, let me see. You know, it does feel like fall out there. I mean, it really seems like fall. It is so nice. And early this morning, we had a perfectly clear sky. And the stars are out. It was absolutely beautiful. A little chilly. I think we had a low of 45 or 46 in Almond. So it is a little chilly, but that's nice. I mean, it does feel like fall. Wonderful time of year. Wonderful time of year. Unfortunately, I think the flowers really don't have much longer to go. They're not going to last too much longer, but it was a great growing season. Very, very nice. Well, let me see here. What's going? Oh, that's right. This week, you know, I was sitting here. I heard the weather, and I don't remember what it's going to be on Saturday. I think we're going to have a high of 70 or something, or 65. I don't recall now. Oh, Brian.
Yes, I'm pulling it up as we speak.
I forgot. It was 2 minutes ago. I don't remember it that far back. Yeah, we're going to have somewhere between like 65 and 70 or something. So it should be a very nice Saturday.
I found it. Do you want to hear it still?
Yeah, sure.
Tomorrow, partial sun. There could be a passing shower during the day. Keep that in mind as you make your plans. Highs will be near 70.
Okay, well, maybe a passing shower. That's all right. Anyway, whatever happens, it is Community Day in good old Almond. That's right. A big event in Almond. Always a lot of fun. Yard sales all over the place. Great fun. The parade, I think, steps off at 10 o'clock. And every year it gets a little larger and a little longer. And it's kind of fun. It really is a lot of fun. Great fun in Almond. Also going on this weekend, we have the Hornell Rotary Family Fun Day. That's coming up on Sunday. And that'll be at Veterans Memorial Park at James Street, and that goes from 1 until 4. It's free, of course, duh. Sponsored by the Rotary Club. They'll have a whole bunch going on there. Let me see. We have a petting zoo, pony rides, face painting, a whole bunch going on there. Maybe a medical helicopter might possibly make an appearance. That'd be kind of fun. And the Hornell PD and fire equipment's going to be there, so it should be a lot of fun. So you can catch the Community Day in Almond on Saturday, and then the Hornell Rotary Family Fun Day on Sunday in Hornell. So there you go, Saturday and Sunday. Okay, school. You know, things have changed. Now I do really sound like an old guy, you know, but things have changed a lot. These kids in school now, they have pressures and various dynamics going on that, you know, years and years ago, it was just totally inconceivable. But these kids are under a lot of pressure now, and they really are. And where did I find this? WKBW in Buffalo. New York State Senator Brad Hoylman has introduced legislation that would allow New York students to take mental health days. Mental health days for students. According to Hoylman, New York law currently requires schools to develop their own attendance policy and determine which absences are excused and unexcused. This new legislation would establish mental or behavioral health issues as a permitted reason for an absence. This would also require the New York State Education Department to implement the change in law. And here is what State Senator Hoylman said. According to a recent study, the number of children and teenagers treated in America's emergency rooms for suicide attempts and suicidal thoughts nearly doubled between 2007 and 2015. That's really alarming. I thought I'd throw that in. Here in New York, nearly 4,500 kids were hospitalized for self-harm in 2016. 4,500 kids were hospitalized for self-harm in 2016. He says we need to recognize suicide and self-harm among young New Yorkers as the major public health crisis that it is, demolish the stigma around mental health care, and do everything within our power to help kids who are struggling to seek medical treatment. An absence from school should never be a barrier to mental health treatment for a child in New York State. He says, I look forward to working with Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins and my colleagues in the state legislature to advance this critical legislation in 2020. And that was State Senator Hoylman. Wow, there's a commentary. This stuff, it didn't even exist 40, 50, or 60 years ago. It didn't even exist. And now it does. And boy, good luck, young people. I mean, really, I really mean it. Good luck. And this is from Dr. John Garuto, president of the New York Association of School Psychologists. He says it is important to bring mental health issues on par with physical health as valid reasons for students' absences. However, just as schools have nurses to address the physical health needs of students, they need to have the appropriate school-employed mental health professionals, such as school psychologists, to meet the social and emotional needs of students to prevent excessive absences due to these issues. So that's what's going on there. Mental health days for students. Unfortunately, it's a good idea. You know, it's unfortunate that it's necessary. But as I said, students are facing pressures that were unimaginable years ago. And there we are. And in somewhat of a related story, I got this from The Hill. Rate of U.S. college students using marijuana reaches 35-year high. Little wordplay there, I guess. Anyway, a 35-year high among college students. This is a study published Thursday by the University of Michigan. Marijuana use among college students spiked to its highest rate in 35 years. The study showed that in 2018, 43% of full-time college students ages 19 to 22 reported using marijuana at least once in the previous 12 months. 1/4 of students reported using marijuana at least once in the last 30 days. According to the study, the annual and 30-day prevalence levels are at historic highs since 1983, when 45% of college students said they used marijuana in the last year, and about 3 in 10 reported in the last 30 days. Among high school graduates of the same age who were not enrolled in college full-time, 4 in 10 reported using marijuana in the last year, while 3 in 10 said they used marijuana in the last 30 days. Researchers said the reported use within the demographic marked the highest level since the 1980s. And the number of students who said they vaped marijuana, I don't know how vaping marijuana, I have no idea. Anyway, the number of students who said they vaped marijuana in the last 30 days rose by 5.7 percentage points between 2017 and 2018. So apparently they're having a hard time dealing with school or dealing with reality or something. Now, Brian wants to say something, or does he?
How could you tell?
Because you were looking at me like you wanted to say something.
Okay, remember in the beginning when I interrupted your thought?
Huh?
In the beginning, when I interrupted your thought, you were doing a character out of an old pirate movie.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Google's an amazing thing. I Googled
Wallace
around,
Beery.
and I found out it was Treasure Island. When you said Jim, it's Foggy.
Right.
That's Jim Hawkins.
Right. Treasure Island, right.
Yes.
You know, I always
Long
liked him.
John Silver is the character.
Well, you know, Jim, here's the map.
Yep.
And as I recall, the treasure's right here.
Right.
It's right by the oak tree at the end of the island there.
Anyway, I watched that. Boy, did I like that.
Yeah.
And I'd sit there watching TV. This is like, I don't know, 1957 or something. I don't know. And I tried to imitate his voice. What a voice he had. Absolutely wonderful.
So which version did you see?
I don't recall.
There's a 1934 version. There's a mid-50s version with Gregory Peck. There's
No.
It's been done a lot of times.
No. It was the earlier one. Yeah, it was the earlier one. Yeah. Okay, now where was I again? Now here we are again. What happened? Oh, yes, right.
This is the second time I've done that.
That's right. It is Friday. It is finally Friday, yes, and I'm very glad about that. Let me see. Well, okay. Pete Buttigieg says those who eat hamburgers, use plastic straws, are part of the problem on climate change. So, if you eat hamburgers or use plastic drinking straws, consider yourself part of the climate change problem. And that was the assessment of Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg on Thursday. He was on CNN's New Day. So, Buttigieg, the 37-year-old mayor of South Bend, Indiana, told the host he thinks many people view climate change issues from the perspective of guilt. You know, from using a straw to eating a burger, am I part of the problem? In a certain way, yes, he said. But the most exciting thing is that we can all be part of the solution. Okay. Buttigieg said part of his climate change proposal involves motivating the public. I think the downside to us facing just how colossal of a challenge this is it can feel paralyzing. But we can rise to meet this and be proud of it. That's part of what my climate plan is all about. It's not only about all the things we've got to do technologically and with regulation. Regulation, there's one of the keys right there with regulation and so on. It's about summoning the energies of this country to do something unbelievably hard. Now, okay, he's all about the climate change and all that stuff, and plastic drinking straws are a no-no. So there you go. Also, Pete Buttigieg, wherever he goes, flies in his private jet. So I don't know how much fuel a private jet uses or what kind of effect it has on the environment, but I guess we can be sure that as he's flying around all over the country, speaking here, there, and the other place, he's using paper straws. So that should be a big help to the environment, and there you go. So as he's flying around, he's using paper straws, and possibly maybe not eating hamburgers. Who knows? And speaking of a little bit of hypocrisy here, one of the biggest proponents of, combating climate change by, totally altering the entire country was Paul Allen. Now, Paul Allen was the late Microsoft co-founder, and his 400-foot mega yacht is up for sale. So this guy who was all for fighting climate change by changing our entire way of living, had a 400-foot mega yacht, among a whole bunch of other things. Anyway, how much is his mega yacht going for? $325.5 million. It seems a real bargain. Anyway, dubbed the Octopus, it's one of the world's largest boats, and it cost more than what Allen paid for his NBA franchise, which is the Portland Trailblazers. So what do you get for $250 million? Well, this 400-foot mega yacht has 2 elevators, 2 helipads, a private deck, which comes with the bar, a hot tub, an alfresco dining area for hosting dinner parties, and also has a movie theater, a basketball court, a library, a spa, an observation deck, a hyperbaric chamber, and an 8-person submarine that docks in the ship. So that's what this thing has, this 400-foot yacht. As for the sleeping quarters, there are 13 guest cabins and 30 rooms for the crew. So this guy was one of those who was all about climate change.
Hey,
yes.
Not to cut in again, but do you know who likes to hang out on George Soros' yacht?
Don't tell me.
Meteorologist Rob Carolyn.
Okay, I could have guessed that. He's such a kiss-up. He really is. I mean, he'll hang with anybody, and then brag about it.
Absolutely.
Hey, well, okay.
I mean, you know, he's got a submarine. We can do all sorts of, current profiling and all sorts of cool stuff, you know. That was my first job out of college. Was doing data quality control on, buoys out in the Atlantic and Pacific that had underwater current profilers and all sorts of cool stuff. So he lets me use the sub.
Hey, what are friends for, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Got to have, one or two rich friends. You're set for life.
You betcha. Oh, well, so weather-wise, what are we doing here?
Well, we're keeping an eye on a hurricane, which is moving across the Outer Banks of North Carolina this morning, Jonathan. There have been some wind gusts this morning on the Outer Banks, up over 95 miles an hour. It's going to pass right over Cape Hatteras and then move out into the Atlantic, passing well southeast of Long Island and Cape Cod later tonight. Some of the cloudiness with the system is moving up across the state this morning, generally from the Binghamton area down into the city and then up north to Albany. That's where we're seeing it. We've got some patchy low cloudiness and fog this morning in the southern tier. It's mainly adhering to the local bodies of water because they're still warm. It was cool overnight, so the moisture kind of goes out of the lakes and rivers and streams up into the atmosphere, forming that low cloudiness. Now, that's going to burn off. We'll have sunshine through the morning, and then a frontal system back over the Great Lakes, where there's lots of cloudiness, will work its way towards us. We'll go from sun this morning into afternoon clouds. May see a shower or two by late today. We're 70 to 75. Sunrise this morning, 6:42. Sets tonight, 7:36. We're losing 3 minutes of daylight a day now. Looks like a shower or two for the evening, then mostly cloudy overnight, 55 to 60. Tomorrow, certainly going to feel like a fall day, partial sun. May see a passing sprinkler shower or 70. And a good day for football on Sunday. Partial sun and cool with highs between 65 and 70, Jonathan.
Okay, so who are you hanging with this weekend, Rob?
Who am I
Bill
hanging
Gates?
with this weekend? No, he decided not to stop by. I'm on call this weekend, so it's going to be a quiet weekend just hanging out with the kids.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Maybe next weekend. All right.
Just the mere mortals.
Yes, sir. Okay, thanks, Rob. See you next week.
You got it.
Bye.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
It was the opening game of the 100th NFL season, and the Packers beat the Bears in Chicago 10-3. The lone touchdown of the game came in the second quarter, with Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers hitting tight end Jimmy Graham on an 8-yard touchdown pass. For Green Bay's defense, they held Chicago without a touchdown, sacked their quarterback Mitchell Trubisky 5 times, and intercepted him in the end zone with less than 2 minutes to play to help them get that season-opening victory. Raiders wide receiver Antonio Brown will reportedly be suspended after an altercation with team GM Mike Mayock. This happened after Brown posted a letter from Mayock on social media detailing a fine by the team against Brown for missing time during training camp. In baseball games of note, the Rays beat the Blue Jays 6-4. It was the A's over the Angels 10-6, and the White Sox down the Indians 7-1. So Tampa Bay has a half-game lead on Oakland for the number 1 wildcard spot in the American League. The A's have a 1-game lead on Cleveland for the second wildcard spot in the AL. Braves over the Nationals 4-2. Astros walk off with an 11-9 win over the Mariners in 13 innings.
From the Fox Business Network, investors are waiting for an update on the job market this morning. The Labor Department releases its employment report for August. Economists are predicting approximately 158,000 new jobs were created and believe the unemployment rate held steady at 3.7%. It was an encouraging sign yesterday when payroll processing company ADP counted 195,000 new jobs created by private employers last month. That was more than expected. Yoga pants and sportswear company Lululemon is raising its expectations for this year. Its sales at existing stores were up 10% in the recent quarter. The company's been expanding internationally. It's also selling personal care products. Stocks rallied yesterday with hopes for an eventual trade deal after the U.S. and China agreed to resume talks. The Dow was up 372, NASDAQ added 139, S&P up 38. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
Do you want to learn to speak a new language but don't have enough time? Then you need to try Babbel, the language learning app with plans at up to 50% off right now at Babbel.com. Babbel's lessons are just 15 minutes or less, and you can go at your own pace. You'll be amazed at how easy Babbel makes it. For a limited time, get select Babbel plans for up to 50% off. Just go to Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
The Ryan Agencies, your local, independent insurance agencies. Online insurance companies don't know the unique needs of our rural community. The Ryan Agency meets rural needs every day. Local insurance experts offering realistic solutions. Contact the Ryan Agencies today. Good local people offering realistic insurance solutions.
Insurance protection Today at Simmons Rockwell Ford in Hornell, Bath, or Halstead, drive a new 2019 Ford Escape SE 4x4, equipped with heated power seat, 8-inch touchscreen media, and alloy wheels. Now buy for only $21,099. Shop the Simmons Rockwell Ford dealerships in Hornell, Bath, or Halstead. Simmons-Rockwell.com.
Okay, and where did I get this? This I got from Fox News. Restaurant menu items named after the wall and lock her up spark controversy. A new restaurant in New Mexico has sparked controversy over menu items named after popular phrases used by President Trump. Urban Taqueria, located in Albuquerque, which is a beautiful city, is a talk of the town after some customers complained about the use of terms like the wall, the immigrant, and lock her up on its menu. Critics say the terms are offensive to certain communities and perpetuate hate speech. The way things are right now, it's not good, customer Juan Hernandez told a local TV station. We need to have respect for others and have some limits. University of New Mexico professor Patricia Perea said normalizing the terms, which also include phrases like fake news, is dangerous. Now, these are names of items on the menu, okay? Fake news is dangerous. She says, it seems fun. It seems like you can make fun of this, but maybe make it lighthearted. But you can't really. You're offending a whole community. It's normalizing the terms and potentially turning them into funny or humorous terms. And the more that you do that, the more likely people are to repeat them and perhaps forget the contexts in which they were said. In other words, let's stay outraged, right? Might as well keep that blood pressure up, stay outraged, can't have any fun, can't make fun of anything, got to be really, really serious all the time. Okay. The restaurant's owner, Hanif Mohammed, is an immigrant, and he said the terms on the menu are all in fun. If anything, he said, he hopes it sparks conversation. 99. This is what he said. 99% of the people who walk in, more than 99, don't seem to have any issue with it. The menu is not designed to insult people or hurt people, but it's just meant to keep the conversation going as to what's happening around us. So he has these menu items. I don't know exactly what they are, but just it's the names. So I'd like 2 orders of the wall and 1 of the immigrant, or I'd like lock her up, only like well done or something. I don't know. So he has all these strange little items on the menu, and everybody's all upset, or some people are, because it's normalizing the terms. And yes, sir. All righty, Roo. As I said, if you want to stay outraged, I guess you can stay outraged over anything at all. There you go. That's in New Mexico. And what else have we here? We have, oh yes, you've heard of this. U.S. presidential contender Bernie Sanders has proposed a plan to cancel $81 billion in existing past due medical debt. However, he hasn't offered any details on how it would be financed. Although we could probably take a guess. Sanders said in a statement that under his plan, the government would negotiate and pay off past due medical bills. The government will pay it off. The government has no money. Right? The government has our money. So, he would negotiate and pay off past due medical bills that have been reported to credit agencies. The proposal, he said, will also repeal some elements of the 2005 bankruptcy reform bill and allow other existing and future medical debt to be discharged. So he would take $81 billion from the American taxpayer and pay off everybody's medical debt. A wonderful plan. Absolutely great. Just dandy-roo. Just dandy-roo. Okay, I hear the sounder, and I guess that's it. I will see you Monday at 8:05. Bye.